It can be really nerve-wracking and scary when you first have to wear the brace to school, but I think you show a good example of, hey, you get used to it and, now you're able to do it and it's not interrupting you from doing your day-to-day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And it shows a good example for other teens with scoliosis. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Beth Terranova, and we are here today on one of our new series called Stronger Than the Curve, where we introduce people's scoliosis stories and a little bit about their journey with scoliosis. So today we are joined by Nelly and her dad, Samy. Thank you for taking this time with me. So before we get into anything, I'd just like you, Nelly, to introduce yourself and share with me a little bit about your scoliosis journey.
Okay, well, hey guys. I'm 15 years old. I'm a golfer, and I got diagnosed maybe 2 summers ago with scoliosis. And I had a physiotherapist for my Schroth exercises. I went to the National Scoliosis Center in Virginia with Luke there, and that's pretty much it. And also I joined this program.
Yeah, so Nelly's been working with us for coming up on, I think, 5 or 6 months now here with us at Strength and Spine to incorporate weight training into her routine to help with her golfing while also then respecting her scoliosis. So before you worked with us, you had done some Schroth exercises. So for people who maybe are not familiar with these exercises, we talk about a lot on the channel. These are specific exercises for scoliosis. So how did you get introduced to the Schroth exercises, and how did you feel like those kind of help you on your scoliosis journey?
I think my parents basically did lots of research for me. I'm very grateful for that. And they found a well-known physiotherapist. She's called Andrea. And I just did it basically every day. And I think it helps you find your good posture. And I think it helps scoliosis overall.
Awesome. And there was something else you mentioned that many teens with scoliosis go through as well, which is wearing a brace. So how has your journey been with wearing your brace so far?
I wear my brace at school every day, and I just see it as a bump in the road.
So you've been really consistent about wearing your brace too, which is awesome. Yeah. Good. Well, what made you decide you had done your brace and you were doing your scoliosis exercises? What got you interested in learning more about weight training with scoliosis?
I think it's mostly gaining muscle. That was one of my goals before joining this program. I feel like with Schroth, it's good for positioning and everything. I felt like I needed more muscle gain, so I found this program.
Great. And tell me a little bit about how did you feel before you got started? Were you maybe nervous about strength training? Were you excited?
A little bit of both. I was nervous to try something new, but I was excited to finally be able to start weight training.
Awesome. And Samy, I'll ask you, because I know that many parents, when their teen is diagnosed with scoliosis, are always looking for, okay, what can they do? What can't they do? What got you interested in seeking out Nelly to start doing some resistance training?
Yeah, so Nelly she mentioned it, but she's a competitive golfer. So we're up here in Canada, so her summer is a little shorter than most, but she works out a lot, like playing golf, and does a lot of exercises, walking a lot, working out, like practicing her sport a lot during the summer. It's pretty intense on her body. So she was doing the physio, and it helps with the breathing, positioning, but I felt that to prevent injury, she needed to gain some muscle or strength, and she calls it muscle because she wants to see muscle in the mirror. But for me, it was mostly just that the goal was to get her stronger and avoid injuries. So that's how we started looking for something that would like be okay with her scoliosis while helping her achieve her goals in her sport.
Awesome. I think that's a great point, that weight training can be not only to build muscle, but also for injury prevention. The stronger we are, especially with scoliosis, the more resilient our bodies can be.
Yeah, for her, it was really to get some strength. So she feels more comfortable and stronger and doesn't feel like scoliosis is like a weakness in her sport, just like something she needs to take care of. And she does, and just now focus on building strength. And yeah, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's great too, to represent also people with scoliosis in sports, right? Because not every person with scoliosis, they might be nervous about doing a sport, especially a sport that involves rotation. They might be scared to do a sport. But what we know from the research is that sports are very safe and are very good for people with scoliosis. So it's great that you've been incorporating this into your life and keeping up with your golfing even. So how did you feel about when you started your brace and things like that, and melding that with also your golfing practice? How did you make that work?
I think at the beginning it was tough a little bit because I had to switch my habits to make it work with scoliosis in my bracing. But I do think at the end you find a solution and you work with it.
Yeah, she was at the beginning. She was also wearing it like 21 hours. So consulting with the National Scoliosis Center and the doctors here, 21 hours was kind of a little tougher to get because golf is kind of long. But after that, she's now down to 18, 20 hours, mostly 18 now because she's getting older. And so now it's a little easier to incorporate. But for sure, at the beginning, there was an adaptation for sure, like wearing the brace and not being able to do like 9 to 5 at the golf course the first couple of summers. But now we're it's a little easier to manage now, a little easier to manage. And but she still wears it at school, and she's comfortable now. I think she's over that little adaptation from the beginning, but now she's okay wearing it for the time that we have left.
One thing you mentioned before is that you guys are actually located in Canada. I'm actually here in New York. So we've actually worked together totally online, although we did meet in one time in person when you came to visit New York, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But sometimes when people start a program online, they're a little nervous about like, how is it going to work? So Nelly, what's your experience been with doing a workout program online?
I think at the beginning, everyone is scared to start something new, especially if it's online. But when you go through it, it's not that bad. This app is super. There's an app for this program, and it's super well done. I can ask you questions if I have any through the app, and you get a pretty quick answer. And you have videos of all the exercises you need to do. So I think you're very well managed and treated on this app.
Awesome. And you're good about, when we give you feedback, progressing your weights and knowing where to go. And then also if we need to check in, having meetings like we met here, we meet in person. So great. What did you like?
I should add maybe that the online assessment was very, we were able to assess. So it's very similar to being one-on-one. I think it's very much just the same. Like we did an assessment. And then when she gets her exercises, like she said, she has a video of what she needs to do with a description. So if there's a question that should I put my leg there or my arm there, she can just ask it through the app and get an answer very quickly. So you feel that it's as if you're training it with someone. But the big upside for a student athlete like her, she's full-time in school and super committed to her sport. It's easier online actually for her to fit in her schedule, because it's not like every Tuesday 5 p.m. can we make it this week? Oh, we're skipping it. She can fit it in her schedule. So that's a big upside of doing it online, that she can put it in her schedule easier than if it was a firm appointment.
Yeah, that's a great point, that you have been able to do all the exercises at home, right? And you can fit them into your schedule, but you're still getting that feedback, that assessment that you're doing things right. And you have, myself and your coach Tiffany if you have any questions that pop up when you're doing the exercises. And I think that's a big fear that people have when they start with an online program, especially for scoliosis. Like, will I get that full assessment? Like, how do you do that assessment? And honestly, when I started doing this, it was during the pandemic, so I didn't really have a choice. We didn't have any in-person assessments, but it's been really cool to see how when people work online and they have their app, they can be consistent with their routines. And it's not like, oh, I have to be here at the certain time. They can do it when works for their schedule.
Well, for sure.
Yeah. So what have you learned so far about your curve, about your workout, like weight training or anything new since you've been working with us in the program?
I think I've learned that you can adapt your weights to like your curve and your strength. And through time, those weights can increase. So that's always a boost to the ego there. but I think it's just a great program, and it helps you like keep in mind your curve and build strength at the same time.
She also, we should mention, she learned was in consulting with you about nutrition a little bit, like we talked about it a little bit. For Nelly, she was she was aware of it, but I think talking to you when she helped her understand that she was lacking a little bit on protein. Like, she's very careful about what she eats and disciplined, but as an athlete, like most like kids that are into sport a lot, but she understood that she was low on protein specifically for her, and now she's looking at it a little bit more. So there was a little bit of nutrition like insight that also she got from the program, if we're talking about new stuff that she learned, like her curve and exercises for sure. She can get stronger, and she feels that she is stronger, like increasing weights and everything, like she said, but also just nutrition wise, she learned about like eating habits probably that will help her. Yeah.
That's a great point, especially as an athlete. You want to make sure that you're fueled for your workouts and also for your golf. You're spending a lot of time on the course, so making sure you have enough energy for the full 18 holes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you find anything surprising that you learned about yourself or how your body works being in the program?
I think being in this program, it like helped me stay more dedicated. It showed me that you can be dedicated and not like procrastinate as much if you have a tight schedule and just make it fit.
Yeah, and you learn that your body can get stronger.
Yeah, it can get stronger if you keep putting the work in.
Yes, I remember when we first started and you saw the 5 or the 10-pound weights in your app and you were like, oh. And now I see you logging in 25, 30.
Yeah, she has a little bit more confidence now with her body.
That's great. That's great.
Baby steps and you get there.
Yeah.
How do you feel that that's also changed how you feel about your body, about how you're doing with golfing, since you've incorporated more resistance training in your routine?
I think, as we said, like it gives more confidence, so you can live your day-to-day life being like more confident about your body and not like shy about the fact you have scoliosis, and it's just there and you can build confidence off it.
Yeah. Have you noticed any changes in your pain, your posture, your movement since you started?
My muscles. I finally see muscles. No, but
yes.
One of my goals with this program was to see like my hamstrings were not flexible. Like when I did a hamstring exercise, they would like lift to here. But now, like when you keep practicing the same exercise and like being constant, I can lift it like to here now. So I think that's one of the big things that I saw.
Flexibility in your hamstring. Yeah.
That's great. Improving your strength, improving your flexibility. You mentioned feeling more confident in what you're able to do. That's great. Yeah. So if you can think back to maybe Nelly a few years ago, right? When you were first diagnosed, maybe you didn't know what to expect or you weren't sure what to do. What would you tell that person, right? Or if somebody is watching this, maybe they're watching it with their parent or another person with scoliosis is watching this, what would you tell them, or what would your advice be for them?
My biggest advice is like, don't see it as the end of the world. It's just a bump in the road. And if you join this program or if you do your shot exercises regularly, it does get better. And I think you can just build confidence off of it and not see it as like a downside.
I love that. I love that because many people, when they're diagnosed with scoliosis, they think, oh, this is the end. I might have to stop doing the things I love. I might have to, you know, struggle with pain all the time and not be able to do the things I love. But it sounds like what you're saying is that if you're consistent with your routines, with your bracing, that you can probably do a lot more than what you think.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think for parents also watching, if they're watching, like it's a big myth, I think, in the scoliosis world, a little bit, the sports. What do I do with the sport? But when you consult with specialists and you take time a little bit to let the dust settle a little bit, you notice that a lot of kids into sport have scoliosis, and they keep doing it's important to keep moving, and most of the issues will usually come about when people don't exercise and are not active. So if your kid is passionate about a sport, you should definitely pursue it and continue working on it, because stopping everything will probably bring the problems faster towards you. So it's better to just keep pushing and obviously get advice and everything, but at the end of the day, you still have to be active, just like anyone else.
Yes, and 100%. What you're saying is supported by all the research we have in the scoliosis field. We want our teens with scoliosis to stay active. They actually do better with their treatment when they continue playing their sports and when they continue to exercise. So if you're watching this and you're a parent of a teen with scoliosis, or a person, or an adult with scoliosis, being active and exercising is very, very important. So I'll give you both the opportunity to answer, but if somebody's watching this, maybe they are interested in learning more about weight training with scoliosis, or maybe they want to join one of our online programs and maybe they're on the fence about it. They're not sure. What would you tell them about the program?
I think joining this program is like a great thing you could do. It helps you gain confidence and also muscle strength. So I think it's a good option.
Yeah, I think just to echo what Nelly's saying, I think from what we saw on the parent side, looking at her working out, it helps with obviously like following up on her workouts through the app. I think the app is super helpful for like teenagers or even adults, obviously, but they can go through it, find everything that they need on there, and I think it's a good step towards like being healthy. And obviously you need to do the work, but I mean it helps you a lot on your routine, and it helps you get stronger.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to record this with me. Is there anything that you want to add or tell people who are watching our YouTube channel? Any last words?
Just keep pushing through it. It does get better, and I believe in you. You got this. And it's just a bump in the road.
Awesome, Nelly. Thank you so much. You are truly an inspiration to many teens with scoliosis. I hope they get to watch this and see how you are doing your exercises, how you are wearing your brace, and how you are keeping up with your golf career. And I think you're underplaying a little bit how good you are at golfing.
Yeah.
Like you're a pretty high level golfer. Like you have a big tournament coming up in a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but
yeah, she doesn't like. She likes to keep it low.
Feel free to brag a little bit about how good you are at golfing, Nelly.
Yeah. She's chasing her dreams. Let's put it that way.
I love
golf
that.
Is a grind, but she likes the grind. Basically, the golf is a grind, but she likes to chase it.
I love that. And when you're on the LPGA tour, we can bring up this video as for when you just started, right?
That's
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you again for taking the time. And thank you everyone who tuned in here. to this episode of Stronger Than the Curve. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below, and we'll see you next time.